2 records and a W, all in a day's work.
Settle in as we rewind the week with the latest edition of Monday Backspin from PGA TOUR.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Amanda Balionis. Phil Mickelson, who hasn't won since the 2010 Masters, reminded everyone just how good he is at the Shell Houston Open. Mickelson set a tournament record 20 under par with an impressive course tying 63 on Saturday and a 65 on Sunday for the win. The Redstone course in Humble, Texas has always been a challenge for Phil. It was the only course he had ever played 5 or more times and never finished in the top 10. Now he leaves the Shell Houston Open with not only a top 10 finish, but an outright W. Round 3 was when the now 39-time tour winner really started to hit his stride with a bogey-free 9 under. Phil collects 500 FedEx Cup points for the W and surpasses Tiger Woods in the world golf rankings for the first time since 1997. You can't forget about Scott Verplank, who shared the lead with Phil coming into Judgment Day and had the outright lead until the par 3 14th where he bogeyed and could just never recover. He finished tied for second at 17 under with Chris Kirk. Kirk must be happy about this play in Texas. After a mediocre start to his season, the University of Georgia alum switched everything, including his clubs and his caddy, to try to pick his game up. This is the best finish in 19 starts on the PGA Tour for him. A sentiment we heard from almost every player was that the Redstone course is the best they'll play on all season long. The play backed that statement up as we saw unbelievable shots from Thursday to Sunday. Here are just a few. Paul Stankowski, who didn't make the cut, did have a highlight on the 15th par 3. Scott Verplank on the par 4 10th knocked one in from the fairway. And our Shell Houston Open champion Phil Mickelson, who was in no shortage of impressive shots this week, knocked this one in on Sunday. The Shell Houston Open is designed specifically to look like Augusta, as the first major of the year is coming up, but the Augusta-like course goes beyond the game as all of the proceeds go to the kids. There are a number of core charities that benefit from the Shell Houston Open, including the Boys and Girls Harbor, which invites children from families in crisis to live in one of 11 residential cottages on the Harbor campus. Other charities include Make-A-Wish Foundation and the First Tee, a youth development program that promotes character development and life-enhancing values through the game of golf. For more on why this win means a little bit more to Phil and why the Lone Star State has been busy this weekend, let's throw it out to Bob Stevens.
Amanda, sports fans in Houston are not known as the most passionate lot, like they are in Boston or Chicago with their teams. That's because the Astros and the Texans and the Rockets haven't contended in a while, but this city knows a good thing when it sees it. Final Four this weekend in town, obviously thousands of fans attending that, and thousands of fans here at the Shell Houston Open. I mean, they were here in droves despite a nationally celebrated event going on in their same town. Houstonians love Fred Couples. They were with him 6-8 deep all week long. Same thing with Phil Mickelson, their newly adopted son. Phil, of course, spent a lot of time here the last couple of years, back and forth with his wife Amy's cancer surgery. He has adopted Houston, sort of, and certainly Houston has adopted him. It had a major championship feel in following Phil all weekend, and certainly the golf course had a major championship feel as well. The winners this week, the fans of Houston, and they're going to be able to enjoy this tournament through at least 2017 as Shell has renewed its corporate commitment to this tournament. Now it's on to Augusta. The Masters comes up this week. Our coverage on the PGA Tour Network begins Thursday with Masters Today at noon Eastern. Amanda?
Thanks, Bob. One thing to keep in mind is that only 3 players besides Phil Mickelson have ever won the tournament before the Masters and then gone on to claim the green jacket. Lefty did it in 2006, so the question is, can he do it again? For the answer, be sure to check out our Sirius XM coverage. PGA Tour Network play-by-play coverage of the Masters begins Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and keep it right here on PGA Tour.com for all of the latest news and sound bites from the Masters.